This is the Sony a7 IV, and attached to it is f2.8 16-35 G Master lens. We've had about 2 weeks with it, and I think it's easily the camera most people should buy. We're gonna break down all it can do and why I feel that way. So let's dive into it. So you got Sony's magnesium alloy body that is both dust and moisture resistant with a larger and better grip. Coming from the a7S III is a dual slot card system, which supports faster read and write card speeds. So also new is a 4-way multi-controller that acts like a dial. You got the mode dial. It's a little less crowded as it now splits into 2 sections. The larger top section is the usual auto, aperture, priority aperture, shutter aperture, manual. Bottom half is a ring switch that toggles between photos, videos, and S&Q or slow and quick slow motion modes. Although it may sound like a bit of an extra step, it doesn't take long for it to become intuitive to use. Now, we mentioned the a7S III before. From here, it's the new colorized menu UI first seen on there, but it's a little more streamlined and a little easier to navigate, find things, and customize settings to your liking. You got a faster 3.68 million dot EVF with 120 Hertz refresh rate, as well as a 3-inch touchscreen LCD display from the a7S III as well that can flip out, articulating, as they call it, use it for selfies or framing your shots or etc. So Sony has been ramping up their innovation across their many products and devices and continues to do so in the audio space. They just dropped the LinkBuds earbuds back in February, which had a style and look of their own. Here we are, lo and behold, we already have another iteration of them with the LinkBuds S. We have a pair that's in our ear right now, courtesy of channel sponsor Best Buy. These resemble a more traditional look for earbuds, sort of like a mix between their WF-1000XM4s and WF-C500s. Sony armed these with both noise canceling and ambient sound. Before you just had ambient sound, so now with the combination of both, essentially you'll never have to take these off. You got IPX4 rating to protect the buds against splashing from any angle. You got a new smart sound feature that allows whatever you're listening to adapt to your behavior by adjusting your audio. These also support high-res audio, but overall just get better sounding quality of music. Get more control and customization when you grab Sony's Headphones Connect app. And our first impressions of these so far, they fit and sound great. So I've listened to latest Kendrick Lamar and watching regular YouTube content. And the LinkBuds S get a slight upgrade in the battery department, going from 5.5 hours to 6 hours of juice. The charging case adds another 14 hours to the mix, giving you a total of 20 hours. This time around, a 5-minute charge gives you 60 minutes of juice. These would be ideal for watching or listening to media on your phone, or your tablet, or even your laptop, working from home, any Zoom calls, gaming, or whatever else you would use your earbuds for. For those of you interested, you can stop by your local Best Buy retailer for curbside or in-store pickup, or hit up bestbuy.com so you can pick up yours. Now, let's get back to the video. Now, the a7 IV is armed with their Bion Z XR processor, also used in the Sony a1 and the a7S III. Along with image processing, this is handling their high-speed autofocus, which can help pull off continuous shooting up to 10 frames per second. Then you have Sony's 759 phase detection autofocus points, making for faster and better eye autofocus for humans, birds, and other animals. Sony even has their AI-enhanced eye autofocus and tracking that now works in video mode. And lastly, a manual focus assist that makes it easier to manually focus in on video mode. All these features makes for a stellar autofocus performance on the a7 IV to hone in on a subject with very little hunting around, whether it's moving or not. Sony upgraded the sensor from 24.2 megapixels all the way up to 33 megapixels, to give you a better overall quality in various situations, including low light for photos and videos. Now, on the photo side of things, we see the benefits of the larger sensor. You get great results just about in any situation, super clean images no matter the ISO, and in low light, you get close to a7S III results. Meanwhile, on the video side of things, it excels as well. You get crisp visuals of 10-bit 4.2.2 4K at 60 frames per second from a larger 7K image that gives you 15 stops of dynamic range, improved color accuracy, no video recording limits. Now we mentioned the S&Q modes before, but if those of you unfamiliar with it, it's slow and quick motion mode that records at 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second with 24 frames per second playback without audio. This will handle your slow motion and as well as make speed ramping and post a whole lot easier. And speaking of slow motion, you got 1080p at 120 frames per second. So if you want that higher end 4K at 120 frames per second slow motion, you're gonna have to shell out more money for the A7S III. But all isn't smooth here either. You get no crop when you're recording at 4K at 30 frames per second, but when you go 4K at 60, you get a 1.5x crop. And even though Sony did equip this with the 5-axis in-body stabilization with 5.5 stops of shake reduction, the A7 IV still can suffer from some sort of rolling shutter. So last but not least is battery life. So Sony uses its NPF Z100 battery. That equates to about 520 shots or so. Only took a handful of photos. It'll focus more so on the video footage. That'll get around over 2 hours of juice when shooting video without having to deal with any overheating. So within 2 weeks, you probably have to charge about 2 times. But if you're coming from the A7 III, it might be a little bit worse. So the 2 weeks with the A7 IV, it's easily the jack of all trades camera for most people. They think it kind of got you covered, leaving you with everything you'll want to capture high-end photos, shoot your vlog, YouTube content, short film, or full-length feature film. Which retails about $2,500. And like I said, entry level, $2,500 might sound like a lot, but then you gotta keep in mind, A7S III starts at $3,500. We're talking body only. And then the Alpha 1 starts at $6,500. So you can get a lot of those features from those high-end cameras on the A7 IV for a lot lower barrier of entry. For those of you who are interested, we'll have affiliate links in the description below. And thanks for watching, because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate you for doing so, and see you in the next video. Peace.